We are throwing it back to 2015. A thread on 4chan's paranormal board pops up. It goes like this.
Most f***ed up thing you've seen on the deep web.
Your mom. Some weird anime about naked girls stuck in a large bathroom without doors, having a philosophical debate about never getting out of the room.
An anonymous user leaves a reply. On a moody evening, he was browsing the dark web. He clicks on a .onion link, which leads him to a video player website. On the player, an anime. It lasts about 30 minutes. He clicks the button. Go for a punch. A twisted instruction. Bash your head against the floor. Scratch your artery out or drown your friend in the sink. We can begin to see why all the intrigue. The scenes were so gruesomely animated that it left a mark on the OP.
Original poster.
Seen on the deep web with an 80s or 90s aesthetic. People on the thread get curious. They start asking for more details. OP claims to have seen it in 2011. The file name of the video being a bunch of kanji characters and an English name. There was a group of 8 girls. Most had bushy brown hair, with one of them, who we today know as Saki, having a wide hime cut. Something odd. No instrumental music, only occasional ambience, which apparently played into the long-lasting, disturbing impact of the show. Somebody from the anime board gets the name. Saki Sanobashi. This is the Tole Tole Cat.
モカちゃんが教えてくれたいろんな見た目になれるアプリなんだって。どれどれ？かわいい。
One of the most influential figures of our age. But how come this devious bastardous being ever got to be so Tole Tole? Let's look closer at his origin. Oh, what is that? Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Can you see it, dear viewer? It seems like the Tole Tole feasts on my Patreon. For your preferred price, you can help put some of that sweet mulch on my plate. In exchange, you can become as Tole Tole as the cat, just like the silver frog.
Also like and subscribe.
The details provided in the post were specific, yet vague enough to spark interest. It was really about the, at the time, forbidden nature of the anime. Red Rooms. Red Rooms are hidden websites where people can pay money to watch. The idea of it being lost media heavily played on that concept as well, and we come to the point where people start searching for it. First, they check Google. Next, all kinds of forums, internet archives. Finally, the Onion browser. They even check out similar shows, look for screenshots, ask around. Eyewitness accounts remain the only hope that it may be real. The possibility that such a gruesome piece of media may really exist became an urban legend. It wasn't long that the internet started meddling like it does. Fake screenshots and made-up details surfaced to lend an air of believability. These may be intentionally misleading or simply people caught up in the excitement. With fake evidence which polarized people's opinions, the legend grows. In those early stages, some would actively search for it, but for the majority, it was simply an interesting tale. And with every lead coming to a dead end, the topic dies down. Go for a punch and back into obscurity, with its name getting caught only in the most forgettable parts of the web. Until an email reaches a YouTuber. In November of 2019, a YouTuber known as Wang uploads a video.
The Lost Deep Web Anime Tales from the Internet.
Right after interest in the story explodes. The video proved to be so successful that he released 2 more episodes. Even more lore surfaces, with alleged slices of the footage, and even larger communities start forming around the topic. Some of the media even looks authentic, but that's not to say they were real. In the second part of his series, Wang admits that his involvement not only brought more seekers to the case, but also muddied the waters, with even more fake or simply fan-made evidence building on the story. So much attention was brought to the topic that in early 2020, a person claiming to be the original poster from way back in 2015 admitted to fabricating the entire story. But just like with everything else in this case, we have no idea whether or not this really is the OP. So there's no way to confirm whether or not anything is real. There is no trailer. The leaked clips last at most a few minutes. No official records. This dynamic is why we even know about it. Our brains fill in the blanks, imagining something far more terrifying than anything a real anime could ever bring. Go for a Punch isn't just a story. It's an internet phenomenon. From the way it began to how social media made it real again. Something like this can only happen in the free marketplace of ideas.
The Internet.
Debunkers try to tear it down. Fans add to the myth. YouTubers analyze its grip on us. Every search, every forum post makes it more real, until it somewhat became real. Maybe not as a show, but as a story. Just like the back rooms grew into liminal spaces, or silly cryptid encounter stories became its own genre. It was the internet building on the lore. For those still believing, just like Skinwalker Ranch for cryptid encounters, stories like The Clockman, a creepy show that aired on Nickelodeon, proved to be real for Lost Media. In hindsight, it's rather interesting that a story which feels most likely fabricated by consisting of details of the such spooky deep web and not even having a trace of evidence became such a phenomenon. Maybe it's not that anybody ever really believed, but that people wanted to believe.
I think the reason the search took off is a combination of 2 things. 1, many of the people searching were either children or people naive enough to believe a 4chan poster. 2, people wanted to believe it was real. The description for Saki was bizarre and creepy enough that people decided to believe the hype rather than look at it with a critical eye.
From someone who actually did believe it may have been real, I thought it was not far-fetched that there would be a lost 80s Guro anime, considering how bloody animes such as Violence Jack came out at that time. Also the fact that preserving older animes is becoming really difficult.
The idea of Saki Sanobashi is interesting to some of us, sort of a realization of some fantasies we didn't even know we've had. That's what the earlier mentioned liminal spaces, Skinwalker green text stories, or analog horror do for me. There exists this hope for those stories to somehow be real. After all, you can always argue that anything is possible in an infinite universe. Everybody you ask these days will tell you, Go for a Punch is most likely fake, and that's okay. The way the Saki Sanobashi legend spread does something more than just paint an interesting story. It somehow reveals the beauty of the internet. Our voices are equal, anything can become significant, and it is only up to us as a collective to choose what we vote for with our attention. Possibly one of the most beautiful yet treasonous things humanity has ever created. Only here, the most unfortunate and average soul can turn their life around, as long as their idea resonates with people it is. If you disagree, you can always leave a dislike or tag this video as not for you and go watch something else. Or I guess cancel me just because I have a different opinion on the internet. Enjoy the mystery, the thrill of the tale, but don't take everything as established truth. Saki Sanobashi is 99% made up.